Hey folks, August 11th, 2025. Don't invest money you can't lose. Took 7 trades today, mostly on ENTO, EQ, and IOBT. We're up $20. Started IOBT. All our trades were pre-market. This one was, I felt, belonged. It was 5-6 minutes. And as you can see out there, we started early, 4:19 Pacific Coast time, and there's hardly nothing on the scanner. And I had seen IOBT on the Webull gappers, and so I took a look at it. It had some news, and I identified it as maybe this could move up. And I think it was around 2:30 when I saw it, and it eventually did kick in. So we took a small starter trade. At this point, it was just a starter trade, just to get our feet wet this morning. But as you can see, I did take it off the top. I thought it was going to go, and obviously that is not happening. So that was a mistake. I did have that cyan line up there, which the cyan line for me indicates that if it moves up there, it's going to go up. So here I fast forwarded, and as you can see, it's moved up. It's beyond the cyan line and it's moving up. And I thought it had a chance to hit 340. And then it's just a matter of holding there. And that's 442. So on 20 shares, we held them for about 423, 417, I think, as we entered the trade. And we didn't exit until almost 5 o'clock. So that was a long 40-minute wait. And as you'll see here, I should have exited off the top there, but I didn't. So the stock came down, and we made $1.80 on it. You know. Also want to point out, I added a new lower chart, lower indicator in there. It's the super trend MACD, just to help me view up and down a little bit better. So in addition to the zigzag dotted line up there, and this super trend, it can help you. It can help to give you an indication of where it's just another indicator to help confirm in and out positions. So we continue to hold, and stock had good news. Should have climbed up, but I just don't think the market's there, at least not in pre-market. So as it starts going down, it's time to get out. Only 20 shares. We don't want it to be a loser. So $1.80, we get out. Then we see ENTO. And the interesting thing about ENTO was I saw this going up to 75 cents, and you can see it up there. And so I had hope for it, but it wasn't meant to be. So I'm watching it at 61. I've got the cyan line up there, and I got the green line in support. And so my key areas here were 61 cents and 66 cents. And I decided to go in below the 61 cents because I thought it had an opportunity to go to 66 and 70. And but it was just too much resistance. It was just heavy. But it starts moving up, so it was a good trade off the 20 and the VWAP right there where it's bunched up. I thought that it might go down, but it didn't. It kept going. So this was a good trade. I didn't notice how long this one took, but this one was fun. This one was fun to keep. And now it's 5:08. We're past 5 o'clock. We passed the 4:30 news, the 5 o'clock news, and while there are more stocks out there with news, it just ENTO, I think, is attractive because of being a penny stock. You can take a lot of shares, and 6, 7, 8, 10 cents, you can make a nice return. So we woke up this morning with no expectations as to of a goal. I think my thought was that the market would pull back a little bit, and it wouldn't be as robust. And the slim pickings at 4 a.m. Sort of confirmed that for me. So this was good here, 800 shares, and we're doing 10 or 11 bucks. The MACD is having issues, just hovering over the signal line, but the volume is there. The awesome oscillator tells us the volume continues to go up. On the 5-minute, the candle still looks good. It's green and has recovered well. Gives us a bullish sign there. So we continue to up to hold, but we do scale out a little bit and come down to 300 shares just to make sure. And then down to 100. Because now it's showing that it doesn't have the strength to go up there, but eventually it does, as you see here. Eventually kicks in, and then so I jump in again, and now this is the move that I was waiting for, that I was hoping for, but I didn't go in with too many shares, just 350 shares. And it was so quick that I couldn't jump out at the top there at 65. And I didn't set a sell limit. So at this point, I'm still thinking that 75 is possible. But what happens is there isn't enough volume in the pre-market, I think, to kick it up. And I did not trade in the open market today. All my trades were pre-market, and I exited out. And then I was preparing this video, and as I'm preparing this video, I'm also watching the scanners, and I see that ENTO did finally hit about 70 cents out after the open. So I guess that's a good thing. Sometimes we do make good choices. We know that the stock's going to make it. The only problem is it's the timing. Our timing has to be right on, and so in order to do that, you have to sit in front of the screen and watch it and look at all the indicators and to make sure that you're in at the right time. So here I do put a sell order in. I'm looking to sell because it's not giving me the confidence. And at this point, I'm up like $12, $13, so I'm sort of happy. It isn't much, but it's being green as opposed to being red. And WLDS came up on the scanners, and that started to move, but it quickly faded. So it didn't have the momentum. IOBT sold off completely. It just died off, which is interesting. It was a biotech stock with news, and it just sold off. So we go back in, or we continue to hold there, at least 150 shares. And it begins to consolidate above that cyan line there, not quite hitting the high of day. And I think it was at this point that I was having a little trouble selling on the bid, and I had to sell on the ask to get away. Something even more interesting that happened to me on one of the other stocks on EQ that I traded. Um, I didn't see it on the replay, but when I was in Thinkorswim, the EQ was around 98 cents. Yet the ladder was showing me a loss of $124 for the day and a $98 loss on the open. So I don't know what that was about. So we exited. It does hit the next level up, halfway up to the next level. And I'm thinking that there's an opportunity here that it's going to hit 66 and go higher. And so we jump in with 1,000 shares. And that's the beauty of these penny stocks. With a 2K cash account, you know you can afford to take 4,000 shares, and there's a good move here. Unfortunately I wasn't paying attention because I should have gotten out there at the top. And now I'm just holding and trying to see how far it's going to go or whether it's going to come down. And the other thing is it's good to draw these lines. You see my green support line, my cyan lines, and you see the magenta line on the 5-minute there, indicating these are the limits. This is where the stock could potentially go or could potentially stop. And it's a range. It isn't exactly within that line. It's a range, right? So it could be 5-10 cents above, 5-10 cents below, and that's one of the things that you have to watch. So if you're in a trade, don't hang on and say, "Oh, I want it. The line is at 62. I'm gonna wait until it hits 62 or what is that, 67?" Um, because it might never hit it. It may fall very well short of that. And so, like I've mentioned in other videos, the things I'm watching here is the MACD. Still not convinced it isn't curling up. The super trend MACD there shows green. The awesome oscillator on the 5-minute green. The 5-minute looks good. For all intents and purposes, if we had more volume, this should have kicked up here up to 75, but the volume just wasn't there. And you can tell that via the level 2 and the times and sales. So at this point, it's obvious that it's just consolidating, and we need to start getting out because it's not going to do much. And we're still looking at the watch list, and nothing there is attractive. ALTS was interesting. It jumped up from 10, I think, to $18, and then they announced a new offering, and it just came way back down to about $7. So those are the dangers in pre-market. You have something with news or an offering, and it's just going to fall. So people, are going to lose their money. So now we see the MACD actually trying to cross that signal line, and it's time to slow it down. At this point, I thought, I'm going to keep 100 shares just to for giggles, and see if it does eventually kick up. So for both of the penny stocks that we traded today, ENTO, ENTO, and EQ, they actually did well at market open. So hopefully that's a good sign for small caps or penny stocks that if we can see 1 or 2 penny stocks kick up 30, 40 cents, that would be good. The problem with having two is that they compete against each other, and then you have to make a choice of which one you're going to go in, or you try to manage both. You could lose on one of them. So with 100 shares here, we're not going to make a whole lot of money. I mean, it's just you're looking at winning cents. So at this point, I'm looking for 20, 25 bucks, and I think I hit that once I finally close out of this trade. And then I exported my trade activity because I'm ready to put it into TraderView and walk away with $25. But EQ shows up, and of course, like a dummy, I had to go jump in, and that trade will be coming up in a short bit here. So this is showing good strength from that one bottom channel there from 61 cents up to 67. So it made it, but those 7 cents took a long time, and or about half an hour, and it sort of it doesn't have the strength here. So yeah, at this point now it's just a matter of getting out. And at 5:30, an hour before the market opens, we're up $25. We have some money left in the cash account if we wanted to trade, but the choice should have been to exit. But of course, you know me, stubborn trader. So I go in, and I saw this stock, and I thought by the time I had marked it, I knew it could go to $1. And $1.36 actually is what I thought it could hit, but it's still pre-market, and I didn't trust it. So when it hit 70, I ignored it, and by the time it was 80, it was way too late. So I decided not to jump in, and I decided to wait. So it hit $1, and then it pulled back, and I decided to jump in then. And here, I knew the stock would move. But again, this was a matter of timing. So it was 5:45. There's nothing else. All the other ones are selling off. They're not doing that well. But this one decides to consolidate. And as you can see there, with 300 shares, even on a penny stock, it was quite easy to be down $13, $14. So what happened on this one is I start scaling out because I don't want the loss to be greater. I finally scale out, and I lose $26. So I lost everything that I made, and an hour and a half before, and now I'm down 70 cents on the day, and I'm ready to quit. So I started exporting my trades again for TraderView, and lo and behold, it starts moving up again, and I still had some cash, so I jumped in with 300 shares. I didn't capture the trade, but I made $20 here, so I wound up minus 468 on the day for this stock. So $20 on the day. We're still positive. We're green for the month. Hopefully we'll stay green for the week. Have a good week, everybody.